What's up, guys? It is John from Side Hustle Experiment. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller. I do online arbitrage and some books. And in today's video, I am answering questions I got on Instagram about doing online arbitrage. I basically documented a day of online arbitrage sourcing for me. I spent about $2,000, which is probably a little bit on the high end for me. I'm usually spending about $1,000-ish today, but I'm trying to really consolidate and spend more money in less days, just so I can do some other things like create content for you guys. And I'm gonna go over the tools I use, how I source, people to ask about Prep Center, how I calculate the cost, the spreadsheet I'm using, a whole ton of stuff. So let's just get into it. If you want to learn how to make money on Amazon, subscribe to this channel because that's what we talk about the most, and please like the video. So the first question I got is, how did you source these products? So I did something called reverse searching, manual searching. It's kind of a mix of both. I was basically going to websites that were having sales today, and an example would be like Dick's. I would look at their clearance, or there are other similar sales sites that were having sales today, and I would use a tool called SellerAmp, which is an awesome tool that calculates all the fees, breaks everything down for you. You could do it on the website page. I just did a video about this, sourcing Walmart. So I'll try to remember to link that down below. There's also a free trial, 14-day trial, if you want to use SellerAmp and give it a whirl for yourself. So that's what I was doing, mainly looking at products one by one that were on sale. Some of the products I were already familiar with, some of the other ones I were not. I think maybe about 70% of the stuff I bought today were brand new that I've never bought before. And then 30% was some replenishables that came back in stock. So the next question was so it was related to SellerAmp. Someone says, do you calculate the Prep Center cost into SellerAmp? And the answer is yes. There is a section in the settings. So my Prep Center costs $1 per item. If they have to polybag it, it's an extra 20 cents. I don't include that because not everything I buy gets polybagged. So I just account for $1, and anything, if it has to be polybagged, I just kind of do the math in my head, 20 cents. So that gets calculated. I am shipping to a Prep Center in a state that does not have sales tax, so I'm not paying tax. You could also, if you are paying tax, you could add that to SellerAmp as well. And I am also using 30 cents as an estimate to how much it will cost me to ship to Amazon, to send it, to ship it there so people could get it at a warehouse and Amazon can unload it. And then when people buy it, Amazon will send it to them. So that's the two things I'm accounting for. My Prep Center cost, which is $1, and 30 cents per pound. It does all the math for you. So SellerAmp, you don't have to worry about that. So that's that question. Another question I got was, where do you send everything to a Prep Center? I would say at this point, about 90% of everything I buy goes to a Prep Center. The things that do not go to a Prep Center are some stuff that I'm kind of buying and holding a little bit for maybe Christmas, Legos, stuff like that, or stuff I'll merchant fulfill. It's really not that much, or items that have really high ROI but could only be delivered locally. Usually that's mainly from Walmart, or some stuff just can't be shipped to the Prep Center for whatever reason. So I'll do that, but it has to be super, super lucrative at this point. So yeah, most of the stuff goes to the Prep Center because it's tax-free. It's a no-brainer. I buy a lot of higher end items. Like, I think my average sale price is like maybe in the 30s or 40s. So yeah, there's just, I don't know. It just makes sense. For me, on probably like a $30 item, I'd have to pay like $2-ish sales tax, but instead I pay no sales tax, pay the prep center $1, and I make an extra $1. Next question. So for how do I buy? So when it comes to buying, I do test buys. It just really depends. I used to buy about 5 to 10 per item to test. Now that it's going to the prep center, it's a little different. And now that I kind of have the hang of it a little more, I'm tending to buy about 18 to 20 items at a time. I like doing this because it all goes to one warehouse location usually. So if you have 18 on one item, Amazon will usually have you send everything to one warehouse so you don't get split shipments, which I don't know, if you bought 10 of something, they might say, hey, you have to send 8 to this warehouse and another 2 to this warehouse, which really sucks because just sending 2 units to a warehouse is going to cost you a lot to ship and eat into a lot of margin, and it's also just a big pain. So a lot of people did ask when I took a picture of what I was buying, why I was buying like 5 at a time or 10 at a time or 2 at a time. And a lot of that depends on the website. So there are a couple new websites I shopped at today. I did have a video about getting online orders canceled. So usually when I order from a new site, I like to keep the order under $200 and about 5 units. I feel like 5 is a pretty safe number because it's like, yeah, someone could buy 5 of something, or maybe they're giving it to friends, or maybe they just need it. You just never know. So I placed 2 orders with 2 new sites. So that's why that was 5. The other reason I was ordering 5 at a time is because I like to keep the order dollar amount low. So I would rather place like 5 orders of 5, or let's just say for 4 orders of 5, and have like the cost be, I don't know, under 200-ish each time, and just place back-to-back orders. I tend to not have any issue when I do that. So it was just kind of how the spreadsheet worked out. And the reason I do it by like 5 is because I tie everything to an order number. This way, if there's any issues or something missing, I know exactly what order number it's tied to. And it also makes my life and the prep center's life easier. So it's totally up to you. Sometimes if the item is super expensive, $50, $60, I'm probably not ordering 18 of them. I'll probably go like about 10. It just really depends on the situation. But for the most part, I like to do 18 to 20. Another reason for that is if you're uncomfortable buying about 18 to 20 of them, you might want to consider not buying it at all because it's not really a solid buy. That might sound harsh, but I mean, that's kind of the reality of it. I do like the idea of just being able to test the water a little bit, but in reality, if you're not buying, a decent amount, it's going to be hard to win the buy box because if someone has 10 to 18, you only have 5. It's really going to be hard to get buy box rotation because you just don't have a lot of stock. It's still possible because it happens, and I've done it before. It's not a big deal, but that's just kind of where I'm at now in my business, where I'm trying to buy 18 to 20. I've had it work out really well. I've had it work out not so good, but usually you can get rid of it within 2 or 3 months. I don't like to sit on capital, but sometimes that's just how it goes. The very last question I got is, how do I track all of this? I use Google Docs with a combination of SellerAmp. So in SellerAmp, which I will do a video on this, you can create a custom spreadsheet and tie it to a Google Doc. So literally I can decide what columns I want. Like whether I want the date, the item, the source link, the Amazon link, the ASIN, I could pick whatever I want. I think there's like 40 or 50 different options. So basically, I'm just dropping the link and the price into the SellerAmp screen on the computer, hitting which spreadsheet I want it to go into, and it automatically goes into that spreadsheet. I have one that's like a final buy sheet, and then one that is formatted specifically for the prep center, just because their columns are different and they want a different way. It just makes it super easy for me not to have to copy and paste again. And I also have a spreadsheet that I created that's like a master spreadsheet of like every single order that I place and how much. The final buy sheet that I have hooked up to Seller Amp is literally just one of everything I've bought since I started. So it's not like the main sheet where it has like, oh, I ordered 5 of this for this order, 5 of this for that order. So it's literally formatted the same though, where I can just copy and paste it right into there. Makes it super easy. So I think that pretty much wraps up all the questions. If you have a question specifically about online arbitrage, put it in the comments. I definitely read all of them and respond. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Side Hustle Experiments. And I will see you guys in the next video.